All right, welcome in. Happy 4th of July. Appreciate you starting your 4th with us to talk some Major League Baseball. I've got Bryan, Leonard, and Tokyo Brandon here with me for the next 50 minutes or so to break down the Saturday MLB slate. Bryan, Leonard, I'm going to start by venting for a minute. Everyone had a better day than me yesterday because I made one bet on yesterday's card. It was my 5% play, and it was Diamondbacks plus 1.5. I had it at minus 120. It went off minus 150, beat the market by 30 cents. And that is one of those scenarios where it's a bet I would make 100 times out of 100. If you gave me that opportunity to make that bet 100 more times, I'd make the same bet. I made the right bet, in my opinion. And Ryan Thompson, I don't know who taught him how to field balls off the mound. Twice he just winged the ball, trying to make it out. First time he didn't pay for it. Second time he threw it into the stands. If you missed it, the Brewers ended up covering in extra innings in the 11th. D-backs had chances to win it in the 9th and the 10th. Very frustrating that's how my winning streak on 5% plays went down. I hope your night was better than mine, Bryan Leonard.
I was at the Aces game, Las Vegas Aces yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to watch the games. But that was my only loss. I had the under in that game. It's 6 runs through 10 innings. You figure you're in pretty good shape. I'm out with Marco and his wife. My wife and I went out. And as soon as I went to the 10th inning, I said, I'm screwed. And other than that, we're 2-1 on the day. We won our big 4% on Washington. That was wire-to-wire winner. So, I really thought I had a 3-0 day in front of us, but I'm joining you in that frustration.
Tokyo Brandon, here's the thing. I feel like we got through the 10th inning. Listen, if you blow me out in the top of the 10th, I got to be like, all right. But the D-backs came out and got out of it, didn't give up a run. And so to lose it in the 11th is just that much more heartbreaking. So again, TB, I hope your night was better than mine as well.
I guess I'm the only one of us three that won that game. I had the Brewers -1. So I thought I was doomed. Because they went up 3-0, gave it up, and then they were listless the rest of the entire game. But I went 2-0 because I also had the Dodgers team total under because I knew they'd be flat after scoring 2 touchdowns the day before. So I went 2-0 in MLB, and then I went 2-0 in KBO. So yeah, it was a good day after a bunch of mediocre days. So I'm kind of happy, not flexing or anything. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Go out and get ripped. Go get blitz, but don't drive. Because we need to keep our viewers and we need to keep our sales up. We want you back on Monday. And we care about you. Sorry.
No, definitely. Stay safe this weekend.
Don't drive.
You don't want to be one of the stories. You don't want to be a JPP. Keep all your fingers. No holding the fireworks. And all of a sudden you come back with 4 fingers. TB, I don't think the Brewers, it's not that they should have. I don't think they should have lost that game. I mean, they had the 3-0 lead. It was a good game. It's just to win it by more than a run. And then Bryan is even more brutal to lose the under when you have 6 runs going into the 10th inning. It's a tough way to go. We've got enough people in here now. So again, appreciate you spending your Saturday with us. We're going to start with the national TV game tonight. A nice little 4th of July rivalry in the NL Central, Bryan Leonard. Cardinals, Cubs. Cubbies, 20 runs one day. The next day they give up 17. Just another day in a 162 game baseball season, I suppose. How do you see Cardinals Cubs tonight?
That's I was joking about they scored 23 earlier this week and then give up 17. Yeah, that's baseball. That's the way it is. Some days you got it, some days you don't. And the dichotomy of winning days and losing days sometimes makes you scratch your head, and that's the way that one was for Chicago. We got Leahy on the mound against Imanaga. Imanaga, the lefty. We're looking at basically a 155 for the Cubs with a total of 8. Yeah, don't want St. Louis coming off of that big offensive explosion yesterday, and the wind is blowing in today in Chicago. So we're looking at a total of 8. It should be much different kind of game than we've seen this entire weekend and during the week in Chicago. I like Leahy, but I'm not sure I'm getting enough to be able to back him here. Cubs off of the embarrassment. bullpens are looking pretty good for the better pitchers here. Although the Cubs their bullpen has lost some, plenty is still out, but everybody seems to be settled in. So the better arms in the bullpen are available here. The wind's blowing in, so there's still a couple 8.5s out there, 8.5, 20 at circa here in Vegas, and a couple offshores there. Somewhat expect this to be a lower scoring game, but to be honest with you, I'm probably going to sit this one out.
Yeah, Leahy's not a guy I've really liked at all. Tokyo Brandon, is he someone that also came from Japan? Was he over in Japan for a bit before here or no? Because he wasn't. I don't think he.
I don't remember him being here. He might have been, but just didn't notice his presence.
Yeah, I mean, he was a guy that he's 29 years old. So if I remember correctly, he was someone that came up, didn't have a ton of success. I thought he went overseas somewhere. Maybe he went to Taiwan or something. But point is, I know people were excited about him. I think coming back into this year, maybe he might have just, again, if he was in AAA, I missed him too. That's a red flag. If you were spending time in AAA and I don't know about you, you weren't popping up on my rating somewhere, that's a red flag. Point I'm trying to make is he's another guy that's really toward the bottom of that expected ERA list, the expected batting average list, doesn't generate a lot of swing and miss, gives up a lot of hard hit. I've only been looking to bet against him. So how are you looking at this one, Cardinals Cubs?
I'm looking at his history. He played Springfield, Palm Beach. No, I don't think he played overseas according to this. So a lot of minor league stuff. I have a 5% play today. There's a lot to like on the card today, in my opinion. I have 2 4% as well. So grab a double play. 2 of us 3, no better baseball cappers on the planet. So go with us, ride with us. I'm on a 4-0 run as of today. So the way I see this, yeah, I kind of like the Cubs here, but a couple of red flags here. As I said, when teams blow up and score 2 touchdowns, they usually calm down the day before. So I agree with Bryan and his under. Especially I would agree with a Cardinals under. Imanaga's good stats against the Cardinals in his career. So good. I mean, a 228 average against is not terrible, not bad. Couple of red flags. Imanaga is not really good at home, and he's good overall though. So what I like about him is his command and control. He's only walking 23% of the batters he's striking out, which is really low. I've got him ranked a couple spots ahead of Leahy. Both of these lineups are kind of torching the ball right now. Especially the Cubs, despite yesterday's trouncing. But the Cubs bullpen, really hard to trust. So the red flags I have are Imanaga's home split and the Cubs bullpen. So a little trepidation regarding taking the Cubs. But if I had to bet it, I would take them.
I think Lee was just pitching out of the bullpen for the Cardinals, and he's just someone that never really popped up on my radar. He was at Memphis. I don't know how I've missed this guy all these years, but go ahead, Bryan.
Yeah, he come up in 2023. I think he pitched 3 innings or so. So he's been in the organization the entire time. I do want to say regarding the home and away on Imanaga, his xFIP is 3.88 at home, 4.04 on the road. So it hasn't been on the season. It hasn't been that much of a difference. You get on certain runs at home and on the road, but overall, I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, the thing with St. Louis scoring all those runs, and that was unexpected. If you always say if you put a gun to my head kind of game. Yesterday, if it was one of those, I thought the Cubs was a decent play if you had to play that game, but they just plain didn't have it. So yeah, a good team like the Cubs. I always like to play good teams off an embarrassing loss. So that's some reason to play the Cubs, but I don't think I'm going to get involved.
Yeah. Do you know how uninteresting of a pitcher you have to be at AAA or in the big leagues for like 3 years? And I'm just like, yeah, I don't really remember much about you. But prior to this year, obviously this year, he's been forced on us. It seems like every fifth day. I don't think I haven't really watched him and been like, oh, this guy has many redeeming qualities. A lot of blue on the Savant page. So for that reason, he's someone I would go against. But, Shona's a guy that he gives up some hard hit, doesn't throw particularly hard, gives up fly balls. I haven't really been inclined to back him either. Bryan, you're kind of shaking your head. I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me either.
Well, let me check here with my ballpark pal deal. Wrigley Field today, winds blowing in, slight wind. They're expecting 1.5 less runs than a normal game at Wrigley. So you got a fly ball pitcher in a game with the winds blowing in. So that helps. That definitely helps. So
yeah.
Lean Chicago, don't think I'll get there.
Yeah, I think I ultimately I think I agree with you, but the price is easy pass for me because it would lay in a little bit more than I would prefer to lay with the Cubs. So Richie Batts says happy fourth, and there's 15 games today, so let's find a different one to talk about. We'll do it for the live viewers. We'll do it for the live viewers. We have an 11 a.m. start time that the people want to talk about in our nation's capital, I believe. This game's in Washington, I think. It is Washington. I know that for a fact. Up against the Pirates. So Tokyo Brandon, yes, this is the nation's capital, 11 a.m. standalone start, which goes off for us here in less than an hour. So for the live viewers, Pirates Nationals to you, how are you seeing this one?
Yeah, Ashcraft's having a really, really good season, isn't he? If you cover the name and the logo, you might think he's someone else. I don't remember him being this good in the past, but certainly is having a great season so far. Zach Littell dropped off significantly since leaving Tampa Bay. Not much to like about Zach Littell right now. I got him ranked 27 on a curve of 30. So got Braxton Ashcraft ranked 8. So I think his numbers are a little bit better than a little luck involved, but he's still pitching great. And there's one thing about this, which we've talked about on past shows that nobody can explain, but the Pirates score a ton when he pitches and they score nothing when Skeens pitches. And why? No idea. It's not like the hitters are out there going, "Oh, we got Skeens. I don't have to get a hit right now." They don't think like that. They need their contracts. They need a job. So can't explain it, but this is going to be hot. It's going to be a hot day game. I think there are going to be a lot of balls going out, a lot of overs here. Neither one of these bullpens performing well. I got them both ranked right around 20 out of 30. Both hitting teams are ranked top 5 in current form. So over or nothing, I would think, for this one.
TB, I'm with you. I think there's absolutely going to be runs, and I would not be surprised if the Nationals are in the mix scoring. I'm a Braxton Ashcraft guy. I've sort of hyped him up ever since he got called up. Still think he's a tremendous pitcher, Bryan. But here's the thing: I was on Ashcraft for 5%er on Monday that I won in his last start. I had a 5-0 hole, and it's because he was kind of just putting the ball out over the plate. And it's something I've noticed he's done a couple times in his recent starts where it's like he will put one that is out over the plate. Now, the Phillies, the team that he did that against, unfortunately, he did it to Bryce Harper. That thing got hit 500 feet. Like you can't just hang a curveball to Bryce Harper. Point I'm trying to make and to tee you up with here is you can't really do that to this Nats lineup either, because all of these guys can hit, and they've been tremendous at hitting the ball this year. So I kind of see the Nats scoring some runs here as well.
I agree. I would have used this. I think it was 10 earlier. Now it's 10.5 just about everywhere. I would have used this for clients if it was still 10. It's no longer there. So, yeah, I'm in agreement. We've talked in the past about Ashcraft. The team hits for them. Zattel is a weak link for this Washington pitching staff. And if you take a look at the batters, they're all hitting pretty well. Pittsburgh's got right now 5 of their top 9 guys are hitting in the top 100 the last 7 days. So they're hitting well, and we've got the Washington team obviously the best hitting team in baseball this year. Very consistent all season long. Lefty righty, they've done very well. So yeah, I'm in agreement. I like the over, but I lost the number I wanted. And one thing you don't want to do is chase numbers in baseball. That'll put you in the poorhouse. So yeah, if you want to enjoy it, I think there'll be a lot of runs scored here. And as was mentioned, it's going to be another two and a half hours till another game is played. So if you want to watch baseball today, this should be a fun one to watch if you like scoring.
Someone in the chat says I only bet dogs. Well, Nationals is your dog. I think they're a very live dog today. They're one I definitely, I guess I'll consider here. I guess I'll decide within the next 10 minutes if I'm going to bet it for clients. If I do, I'll tell you on the show. I'm not going to use it for the parlay because it starts at 11 a.m. But like, I have 4 or 5, opinions that are, I think, pretty strong today. Nationals is one of them. I just, from what I've seen from Ashcraft, his last couple starts, he's out over the plate a little bit more than he usually is, and he's probably going to pay for that. So you want to take a couple Nats to hit a long ball today, see if you can find some plus money. There are ways. Nats team total over. Tokyo Brandon, that was one of your favorite bets for the first couple months of the year. Maybe today with the ace or on the mound, it's a good play as well.
Absolutely. Although the books have become a little bit wise to it, and they're placing it at 2.5 recently. But against Ashcraft, you'll probably get a 1.5 because he's been amazing. So,
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Ashcraft kind of gets priced now. Maybe not like an ace, but certainly like a number 2. Like the prices are getting up there on him for sure.
He's getting respect from the book. Let's put it that way. Some pitchers don't. But he is, and the Nationals lineup is starting to get a little respect from the book, which they weren't at the beginning of the season. So the books do catch on, but the key for pros like us is to grab it before the books catch it.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out it's really not the books. The books do put up the first line, but then the public moves it. The bettors move it. So the bettors are they're just like us. They're smart. The bettors are caught up to it, and yeah, you got to deal with it. Every day is different in baseball. We talked about that in the past. And as the sun comes in on my Saturday show every single week at this time. But it's you got to make the adjustments. You zig and zag, and you talked about that yesterday. There was a game that you would have zigged and zagged on Trig, and that's the way it is in sports betting. If they catch on, you got to find some other way to do something.
It's a soap opera.
High of 101 degrees in Washington, D.C. today. It'll be a little bit cooler than that at first pitch. Thank God they're starting at 11 a.m. At first pitch, it's only 95. So it's going to be a hot day. The ball's probably should jump a little bit. So, that'll be an interesting one. I don't think you could go wrong with any sort of Nationals or over type bet in that first game. All right, let's get to a couple of these other games. Big Daddy says, just a thanks for the fellas doing this 6 days a week. We appreciate your time and wisdom. Big Daddy, we appreciate you. Tokyo Brandon said, we're really all doing it 7. TB is kind enough to come on and talk ball with you on Sundays. I gotta have one day where I'm not in front of the camera. So that is what not Sundays. Me. It just we don't fit into the programming schedule on Sundays either. I will have a Sunday NFL show. So I only have Sundays off for another couple weeks, couple months, I suppose. But check out TB's show on Sunday. He is doing a solo show on his channel for the Sunday slate. So you should absolutely be checking that out. All the donations go to charity, and we very much appreciate the interaction and the donations for the show. Omni Syndicate has jumped in. He says, happy 250th birthday, America. Thank you to all our servicemen and women. This the reason we're allowed to come here and do this. So let's not lose sight of that. Bryan Leonard, Red Sox Angels to you. Sunny Gray over 18.5 out is Omni's favorite spot of the day. How do you see the Red Sox Angels? You kind of liked, I think it was, we all kind of liked an under in this one yesterday. I can't remember if it got there or not. It did get there. What was like a 5-2 final or something?
5-2. Yeah, that was it.
So under 7.5 did get there. It looks like Omni thinks this one could be low scoring again. He likes Sonny Gray to hang around in this game. That Angels lineup, once again, I'll say it, looks like a AAA lineup on paper. So does Sonny Gray pitch deep into this game for Omni Syndicate?
Yeah, I can understand the reasoning behind this one. Sonny Gray against Aldegheri, the lefty. Right now, we're looking at about a 160 or so for Boston with a total of 8.5. Yeah, I mentioned that the other day that I'm not enamored with either one of these offenses right now. Take a look at what Boston's done as of late in the last week. You got Contreras and Durbin hitting well, but you've got guys like Narvaez, Chang, Duran, Abreu. They're all struggling. So from a bullpen standpoint, the Boston bullpen's in good shape. Chapman threw 13 pitches yesterday, Whitlock 2. Nobody had pitched none of the better pitchers had pitched the previous 3 or 4 days. So their bullpen is in good shape. And the Angels, you had mentioned, the bullpen for the Angels is looking a little bit better. They've had a little bit more success. They have no names in the back end of the bullpen as all the guys that they expected to perform well or either gotten hurt or struggled. I will say Kirby Yates, they were using him. They got 3 guys right now they use for closers. He's pitching much better now than he was earlier. Zephyr and Bachman, who we didn't mention the other day. They've only pitched 1 out of the last 3 days. In fact, the bullpen's in really good shape here for the Angels. So I prefer the under here. The only player, Josh Lowe, is the only guy hitting the top 100 for the last week for the Angels. So I kind of like the under here, which would also coincide with Boston's pitcher going long. So I'm in agreement there. 8.5 for the total. I think it's a late game, one of the later games on today's card. Yeah, if I'm playing it, I think this game goes under the total.
TB, specific question related to pitching outs. I know you do a lot with the pitching outs projection. So do you think Sonny Gray gets up and over his outs projection, and how are you seeing Red Sox Angels?
Yeah, guys, happy 4th of July. Drink all you want, drink yourself silly, just don't drive. And we need you guys. We need the views. We need the sales. So come back on Monday, please. Don't do anything silly. And we care about you too. Yeah, I got him projected at 18.3. So I don't know if it's going to go over, but he has a decent history against these Angels. But like you said, this Angels team is yeah. I mean, that's a AAA lineup. And that's a mediocre AAA lineup. So they're not going to be hitting much. So he certainly has a chance to go over that total. I mean, Boston looks like the better team all over, but I don't like the lineup much either. I do like Sonny Gray since he's one of those guys. He didn't perform well in the big markets like New York. I mean, Boston's kind of a big market, but he cracked under the pressure in New York, but he's looked really good this season, and he's not walking people. So I kind of like Sonny Gray here. The Boston bullpen worries me. I got them ranked 24 out of 30 in current form. I don't like that. But the Angels, their bullpen's been great, and that has been their Achilles heel for several seasons up to now. We mentioned on previous shows, they acquired some not household name arms for their bullpen, but they've been very serviceable. I think Boston first 5 would probably be the way to go here because Sonny Gray's been really good, and Aldegheri, don't really trust him. As a matter of fact, I got him ranked 29.9 on a scale of 1 to 30. So Boston's lineup has been a little dormant, but nothing like a good wake-up call than facing a gas can like this. So I'd say Boston first 5 and grab my 5% play today.
Grab TB's 5% play. TB, you're right. Aldegheri's really he's a 4A type guy. I don't really trust him starting games at the big league level. I don't mind him if they use him the right way. Like because he can get outs. Like if they just use him for 3 innings, kind of in like a bulk role. Like I don't particularly like this Red Sox lineup. So if Aldegheri comes in and throws 5 innings of 1-run ball, I'm not going to be surprised. It's not that I think he's any good. It's just that the Red Sox have been so lackluster at times hitting the ball this year, and he's a lefty. They probably haven't seen a ton of him, so it's like but he's not the. I'm going to go back to your point. Like someone in the chat the other day was like, I basically was like, Josh Lowe has been garbage. And they're like, what are you talking about? He's red hot. It's like, if your redeeming quality in your lineup's Josh Lowe right now, that's a problem. His OPS is 615. He's had one good week all year. It happened to be this last week. The dude got sent down. Like, he got legit demoted to AAA for a month because he was hitting like under 200. So, I mean, maybe we're on the Josh Lowe, maybe this is the bounce back tour for him. But I'd be inclined to say, like, okay, he's just kind of had a good week. And then you go back and look at that lineup, like Vaughn Grissom is like your five. Like, like I said, Denzer Guzman's probably like a good, scrappy little player. Shouldn't be your 3-hitter. Vaughn Grissom in there, 688 OPS. Joe Adell, 671 OPS. Like Ohapi, 623. This lineup is horrible on pit. Just flat out bad. I don't see how you can really back the Angels, even with them having a little value here. I feel like you got to find some way to either play the Red Sox. Omni, I think, if you like Sonny Gray, I don't see why you wouldn't bet him to try to like hang around in this game, because there's a lot of outs in that Angels lineup. So I think I'm with you there. Brian Leonard, coming back to you. Alex Rand said, Yankees got their needed win yesterday. You were all over that spot, and it worked out exactly as you sort of described it on the show. So shout out to you for that great breakdown. Got me thinking about those Yankees-Twins series from the past, where the Twins simply can just not beat this Yankees team. A couple people want to know, does that continue today in the Bronx?
Yeah, it worked out well for us. Sometimes you just get a feeling. We've done this for so long. I always try to put myself in the position of the players. Which games am I looking for? And that one looked well. Byron Buxton has been out for the last 4 games. I'm assuming he's probably not going to play today. The bullpen for Minnesota is in pretty good shape. Their top 4 guys, none of them have pitched the last couple of days. But then again, it's the Twins bullpen, and I don't know if I trust them. From the Yankees standpoint, they've got Trent Grisham back from injury yesterday, and they got Ryan McMahon. I like Grisham a little bit more than McMahon. I think McMahon, the only reason he's there is they got nobody else to replace him. He's not somebody that I would want starting for me, but we'll see. We'll see what happens for them. But they've got Yankees yesterday had to use their top 4 relievers, which for the most part isn't a problem. But Cruz and Hedrick and Blackburn has now pitched 2 of the last 3 days. When I look at this game, and we've got Matthews against Beck 155, total of 10. They're bringing Beck up from what the numbers that I've seen. You'll know more, Trig. You follow minor league baseball a lot more than I do. I don't think he's very good, but they needed somebody to take the place of Rodon, who was hurt. Zebby Matthews is pitching pretty well for them this year. The total's 10. He could be a little high in my mind, but if Beck is the way I think he is, maybe that's a divide or a good number on that. What's your thoughts on Beck here in this game? Because without the knowledge, and TB talks about that, too many unknowns. I feel that way in this game as well.
Beck he's fine. Like, here's the thing with Beck. He came up right around the time Schlittler came up. I feel like he was like in that wave of guys. He didn't have quite the success at AAA. They moved him around a little bit, tried him in the bullpen. Here's the reason he's up in this spot, for 2 reasons. One, he probably fell into his turn, but 2, he has had a phenomenal last month at AAA. So I think the Yankees are kind of looking at this as like, the dude's just been on fire. This last sort of 5-week stretch for him, probably the best month he's had in the minors. Like, he's thrown it great for the most part over the past 5 weeks. So when you're the Yankees, and it's like, right now, you're not really looking to call up Beck long-term. I think they're going with like, hey, this guy's earned it. He's pitched really good over the last 5-6 weeks. Let's just ride the hot hand here a little bit and give him a chance. I'm with you, Brian. I don't have like these crazy high hopes for him yet at the big league level, but I will point out that he's thrown it well. He's hot right now, and I think that's what the Yankees are doing. Like, let's get the kid has earned his chance to be in this spot. He's pitched as good, if not better, at anyone that's Scranton for the past 5-6 weeks. So let's see how it goes. Do I think it's going to be super successful? Yeah, probably not. So yeah, that's my take on him. I am going to lock in a play right now, though. But TB, I want you to talk Yankees Twins while I mess around with the website here.
Okay. Get a double play, guys. 2 of us 3 for 3 days. Huge discount. Or you can get a triple play if you only like one guy. You can get 6 days for the price of 3. Go to WagerTalk.com and see all the offers. So I like the Yankees today. I like the fact that they crush Zebby Matthews, especially Ben Rice, Cody Bellinger, Trent Grisham. They all crush him. I think the Yankees are going to score a lot. Sometimes when a team is cold, they just need a little spark. It's kind of like a stick of dynamite. It's just sitting there and you just light it and boom. Yesterday, I think, was the Yankees' spark because although Judge is not in the lineup, they still have some guys who can hit pretty well. I like Rice. I like Bellinger. So looking at this, even though there's a little X factor there in Beck, Zebby Matthews has been horrible against the Yankees. The Twins bullpen has been absolutely horrible. Yankees bullpen performing well, although their hitting has not. So that's kind of a worry. I think yesterday was the spark, and we'll see the Yankees, bring things back. It doesn't mean they're going to win a lot of games, but they will at least score more than 3 runs more than once a week, which is what they were doing last week. So I think I'd take the Yankees here if I had to.
Yeah, TB, one thing I will say, I didn't think it was like the craziest price on the Yankees when I kind of like, I guess for me, like even with Beck in there, like I guess I would have thought I would be getting much better on the Twins in terms from a value standpoint. So, this is one of those spots we talk about where it's like the Yankees, you find it's hard to find really like good type, like value type spots to bet them. And I think that the what you have to ask yourself here is, can I trust Beck as the starter? And like I said, I mean, he has been hot at the AAA level. They're clearly riding the hot hand. If you can get like a 150 or better, I don't think it's crazy to like kind of think the Yankees are like okay at that price. I make that about fair, so it's not a game I'm going to be involved in. But like again, I think if you trust the hot hand theory and you're like, this guy's been cooking at AAA and they're going to maybe go once through the order, like they're not going to push him too far, I don't think it's crazy to like the Yankees here. I will say this. So here's the deal. I just bet Nationals for my clients. I saw a couple people in the chat, so I'm gonna use this for the parlay. If you didn't watch live today, I apologize. You're gonna have a 2-teamer because this starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, but it's a game we already talked about. It's 4% play for me since I gave it out a little bit later. There's no point. I'm just gonna give it out on the show to the people watching on the show. I have to comment on something real quick. They're gonna open with Carson Palmquist. He, of course, comes over from the Rockies organization. They grabbed him a couple months ago. I sort of like what they've done with, like, he was down at AAA. I thought he's kind of looked really good since being down there. I was actually at one of his starts in Rochester. I thought he pitched well. So if this is a scenario where, like, I don't think he's going to be a 1-inning and done opener. If they can get like 2 or 3 out of Palmquist and then Littell goes for like 3 or 4, I kind of like that, and the market has played this the other way. So now you're looking at Nats plus 1.5, minus 115. That's a great bet. I'm not gonna. That is a client play for me. That is a 4% play. Nationals plus 1.5, 11:05 Eastern. Happy 4th of July from Trig. There you go. And it's going to be my parlay lake. So if you miss it, you miss it. Someone said Trig dropping gems. Hopefully. Say again.
If you're a good pitcher, you don't need an opener. You don't see.
Don't get rid of. I'm glad you brought that up though, because
you don't see openers come in for Wheeler. You don't see openers come in for. I think it's a stupid thing to do.
Right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is like, I want to make sure that this point is taken correctly. I don't think that this is really like too much of an opener type deal. I think this is almost like they're going to try to do like 3 innings from Palmquist, 3 or 4 from Littell. It's more of a piggyback. And the other thing is too. Well, yeah, I mean, it's not. That's a fair assessment. It's you would never see that with the top guys. You just never see that with the top
Right.
guys, really. But
Good point.
make sure your book does not have Littell listed. Don't list Littell here because a lot of books still have it. You're going to want to play this action, or you're going to want to make sure Palmquist is listed because Carson Palmquist will start this game for the Nats. So, but that is my parlay leg. That is a 4%er for my clients. Let's start the day off strong. Omni, really good question, and then we'll move on to the next game, but I'll let you guys weigh in. Do openers affect your guys' handicaps? For me, I'm always handicapping the bulk guy for the most part. So I'm going to base my handicap around the bulk guy, but in this scenario where it's like a Nationals team that doesn't have a great bullpen, you're going to give me a couple innings of a pitcher that I kind of like that would otherwise be in a relief role. That's going to impact my handicap a little bit, and that's what's happening here with the Nationals. Bryan, talk about openers for a second for Omni. How does it impact your handicap?
Slightly. If a team will bring in like a lefty specialist and they've got the first 3 or 4 guys on the other team, if the majority of them are left-handed batters, that has an effect. That's the whole reason why you do it. You want to avoid your starter going 3 times through the lineup if the top of the order has hitters that can beat you from that side of the plate. And that's the entire reason why you have openers. And if that's the case from TB, and I'm not going to get into it, we've got a long show to do. Seattle's got an opener today, Gilbert, because he's piggybacking with Hancock. So
all right, let's go. Can we talk that game then?
Yeah,
because that's very interesting situation. So kick us off with that game, Bryan, because that is interesting to me.
Yeah, Bieber and Gilbert. Gilbert's about a 160 favorite, total of 7.5. They threatened this a couple of weeks ago. Then they didn't do it last week. And then they said, okay, Saturday's the day we're going to do it. Gilbert's going to probably go 5, and then Hancock go the rest. That, to me, that does not help them. Gilbert is your most consistent starter, and you want him to go 6 or 7. But they're not going to bring Hancock in for 2 innings, so it's an interesting way they're doing it. We'll see how it works out, but Seattle's great at home anyway. And you got your best pitcher on the mound. I'm not buying into this. Put Hancock somewhere else. Go to the 6-man rotation. Do something. I just don't like it, and I think it throws the team off a little bit. And a lot of guys are in the pitching staff are probably thinking, well, what am I going to do now? If do I have the entire day off? Whereas in the past, you wouldn't think that. So it's going to be an interesting experiment for Seattle, but. Yeah, I'm not involved in the game. It's just something that's going to happen today. Keep an eye on.
Tokyo Brandon, does that kind of fall into your X factor type category here?
No, because I know both pitchers, but it shows me that the manager has no confidence in his rotation. I mean, if I like my starter, I'm not putting an opener in front of him. And if I'm the starter, if I'm Randy Johnson or Nolan Ryan and my manager said I'm putting an opener in for you, I said, hell you are. So it shows me that the pitcher's passive and letting the manager do what he wants with him too. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
TB, that's such an interesting point that you make about this specific game and these specific guys, because Luis Castillo got mad about this earlier this year. And you're right. When you're talking about veteran, like you're right. These are not just like, hey, like Carson Palmquist is not going to say anything. He's lucky to be in the big leagues, right? Yeah, he's going to say, oh, you want me to open? No problem. But like a guy like Castillo, a guy like Logan Gilbert, like these are guys that, I think they could take a little offense. And I think agree. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to just make your point. You kind of like, we're talking about Wilson and the way he's managing that team. I don't like I was talking about the other day, not really liking the vibes around the Mets and their clubhouse. I don't love the vibes around the Mariners right now either. I mean, just like Randy Arozarena, challenging twice, like in this first at bat of the game, like little things. Like if I'm the manager right there, I'm losing my mind. You're out of the game. Like you are just out of the game right there. So little stuff like that with the Mariners this year does not have me feeling good. Bryan, were you going to add something there?
No, I'm in total agreement. That's the dumbest thing. You don't challenge, and there's nobody on base. And he blew both challenges in the first inning, screwed him for the rest of the game.
think sometimes people just think too much, catch the ball, hit the ball, and throw the ball. I mean, this is baseball. You don't have to like just put a guy in for an inning and then another guy limit his pitches. Just play baseball, man. I get tired of this. But anyway, I mean, I'm from the Nolan Ryan era, so it's like, the J.R. Richard and Nolan Ryan. I know there's nobody like those guys around anymore, but Wheeler and some of the other guys, Woodruff, these kind of guys, you wouldn't see a manager sticking openers in front of these guys because they're good. That's my point. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I just don't like it.
It is weird in this scenario because here's the thing. If I knew everyone was on board, I would kind of like the Mariners here. Like, I think that this is a reasonably good spot for maybe them to bounce back. Like, if that pitching setup doesn't seem horrible against Bieber and then the Blue Jays on the road, but I don't know. They get shut out last night and they looked very lifeless. And even the day before, they looked lifeless. They just happened to win 1-0. So it's a tricky game. I don't know if I'll have anything in there.
We're running out of time. Let me just give my opinion on this game very quickly. I think the Blue Jays are actually the better hitting team, and I think they have the better starter, and I think they have the better numbers against the opponents. So I would take the Blue Jays if I had to bet it, but that's not a game I'm probably going to bet.
Yeah, well, we still have about 14 minutes left, so we're all right. Sean goes, the dude in the middle looks coked up. Listen, buddy, diet coked up at all times. Way too much caffeine. I was up till 2 a.m. watching that loser Diamondbacks team ruin my 5% play. So no, I didn't sleep very well last night. But it's always too much caffeine for me. That's I shouldn't have had the coffee. I had the energy drink. Should not have had the coffee. So we're operating at
I would think I would be the one that looks like he's on coke, not Adam. But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, no. Shouldn't have went back for the coffee. That was a mistake. But we'll live. We'll live. Bryan, do you know where you want to go for the parlay here?
Yeah, first off, our Odds Logic, our terrific line service, just made the change. Palmquist will be the starter as Trig once again is ahead of the curve, and that's why I enjoy having the show with him, because he's got his pulse on everything happening in baseball. Does a great job, if you ask me. Okay, Philadelphia and Kansas City. I'm going to play Philadelphia here. Luzardo's on the mound. He's the lefty against Walker with Kansas City. Kansas City on the season is, I believe their WRC plus versus lefties is 91. Luzardo is a guy that can have a lot of success against Kansas City here. Philadelphia, let's look at something simple. Season to date records. Philadelphia on the season is 18-24 against better than 500 teams. That means they're 31-15 against less than 500 teams. 31-15 is more than a 200 win percentage, basically, or a 200 line. The line's basically in the 160 line right now. So basically, from the line services at 150. A 150 favorite basically means you're going to win 60% of the time. The Phillies on the season against teams less than 500 have won, like I said, 67% of them, 68% of the time. Also, you've got the Phillies who are playing very, very good ball right now. They've got the better pitcher. The Phillies are 24-18 on the road. They've been very good on the road this season. And Kansas City is a team, I know, Trig, all season long, you've said you haven't liked them. They've lost 3 games in a row. They're down 83 on the run differential on the season, which is worse than the worst team in the National League. And now the worst team in Major League Baseball, because the Rockies, because of the big game yesterday, they're only down 78 runs on the season. So we got a Kansas City team, 19-25 at home. Lesser pitcher on the mound. I think this is a bargain with Philadelphia. This is probably going to be a client play. So I'm giving it out for free here on the show, because I did lose, unfortunately, that Milwaukee under 4.5 runs yesterday in 11 innings. That was a heartbreaker. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia here, and that will be a play for clients. Philadelphia right now is looking to be about a 150 favorite.
Can't argue there. Don't like this Royals team. TB, Phillies, Royals to you. How are you seeing it?
Yeah. By the way, Adam, as the host, I'm going to do my parlay leg on a game we already covered, so you don't need to leave extra time for me on that.
Okay.
The way I think about this one, I kind of agree with Bryan. It's Phillies or nothing, because according to my numbers, they lead the Royals in every category imaginable here, including starting pitching. But there's a couple red flags for me. One red flag is Michael Wacha has been pitching really well. I mean, control-wise, he's not walking people, even though his name is Wacha. He's not walking people. But the Royals bullpen, just horrible. They're hitting, not good. And another red flag for me is Luzardo. His last start out didn't look good. My expected numbers for him are very positive, though. So he's not like getting lucky or anything like that. He's actually pitching well, and they're legitimately good stats. So Phillies bullpen, not really one that I like to rely on, but their hitting is coming around. So aside from the red flags, I probably would go with Philly here as well.
Yeah, and just like the final thing to say about Philly, if you're like Luzardo's looks so much better. Like he came out of the gate, got hit a couple of times. Like he's looked the part more recently, where it's like it does kind of feel like maybe a little bit even of a bargain at lay a -150. It still feels like a bargain with this guy on the mound. Go ahead, Bryan.
Yeah, they're both top 30 pitchers. Wacha on the season 28, Luzardo's 18. Both of them are pitching well lately. I believe Wacha's in the top 30, and Luzardo 14 over the last 14 days. So yeah, and I do.
Who do you want from those two, Bryan? Michael Wacha or Luzardo? Like, there's one is far nastier than the other, in my opinion.
Yeah, Luzardo's the guy that's going to keep the ball in the park. He's going to strike out a lot more batters. Wacha does keep the ball in the park. He's a great veteran pitcher. I wish Cleveland would get him. That's my favorite team. But I do like the Philadelphia bullpen a lot better than TB does. Duran hasn't pitched the last 2 days. Kirkering hasn't pitched the last 2 days. Yeah, they're in great shape here. So I think that's a bargain. Like I said, you're expecting them. The line says they're going to win 60% of the time. I think it's closer to 70% of the time. That's a good bet if you're betting in sports.
Go ahead, TB. What are you looking at? Yeah, like I was gonna pull. Like, here's the deal. I'm filling in on last call at the top of the hour. I guess I could talk Rays on that show, but I never said the Rays aren't good. Like, I never said that they weren't good. I said that they're overvalued in the market. And I think they do a lot of little things well to compensate for not having the most like skilled players in the league. Never said they weren't a good team. In fact, I think they do less with more every single year. So I don't really have much more to say on that. Tokyo Brandon, where do you want to go to close this parlay out?
And in the chat, Billy Roberts, that is not my burner account, but I appreciate all the kind words. I'll slip you a 20 after the show. My goodness. It's not me though, although some might suspect it is how he's glazing me, but I appreciate it. I think I'm going to go with, by the way, get my 5% play today, guys. It's a play I really like, but I like Boston first 5. I don't trust their bullpen, but I really like Sonny Gray today. It's not a game that you guys picked, right? Nobody's on Boston, right?
No, you're good with that. You're good.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to take the Boston Red Sox first 5 money line. I believe it's anywhere from -160 to -170. We've covered it. The Angels lineup, horrible. Sonny Gray, I like his numbers against him, and I like Sonny Gray overall. He's not walking anyone.
What's the number on that, Bryan?
165.
And here's the deal. If I did say, because he's like, yes, you did. If I did say the Rays aren't good one day, like I could see that coming out of my mouth relative to the market. That's all I have to say.
I've mentioned before that they're very lucky. They were winning 1-run games. They win extra inning games. Not saying they're not good. They've just had the bonus of being pretty lucky in close games.
100%. Not good enough to just regularly be a -180, -190 favorite, but that doesn't mean they're not still a good baseball team. So yeah, I guess that's me expounding upon it. Bryan, so -165. So the parlay for today is as follows. So remember, if you're just tuning in, you have 15 minutes to go get this bet in. My parlay leg It is a 4% play for clients. We locked it in live right here on the show. That is Nationals plus 1.5, minus 115. That starts in 15 minutes. So we talked about the game. If you want the breakdown, the game was earlier. I decided to add Nationals for clients. I gave it out here on the show. So Nationals plus 1.5, minus 115 is my parlay leg. It is also a 4% play for me and my clients. Bryan Leonard is going Phillies minus 150. He said that might be a client play as well, so keep an eye out for that. And Tokyo Brandon is going to go Red Sox first 5, money line minus 165. So that's our 3-teamer today. Nats plus 1.5, minus 115. Phillies minus 150 for the full game. And then Red Sox first 5, minus 165. Tokyo Brandon's got a 5% play today and a solo show tomorrow. So you should be hopping on both of those things. If you want to hear me yap for a few more minutes, I'm on Last Call this morning at 11 a.m. And they were like, what do you want to talk about? I said, whatever, just throw games out there. I'll try not to do games that I just talked about on total basis. So I will try to do different games on Last Call for you guys. Bryan, close us down. What's up?
They asked Adam if he wants to talk, and he said, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, if you make me. I just wanted to point out the streaks we've been on. We're on a 30-10 run. Fantastic run. I haven't had my plays up as of yet. You got one of them with my parlay plays here. But while we say parlays, we don't recommend to play parlays. We always recommend to play them straight. But if you do want to take a chance
Bryan,
parlay, those are the ones we're giving up.
If you've done it every day, you're up 7.52 units. The boys have been hot with the parlay lately. So, haters are furious. What are you going to do?
Singly, if you bet them all individually, we'd probably be up as well.
Oh, we'd probably be up more. Yeah. And then
more.
again, I don't even know if I'll have it. Like, that might be it for me for the MLB today. I just gave it to you on the show. So double play package, great day to use it for Bryan and TB, because you're going to get Bryan has been red hot and Tokyo Brandon's got a 5%er. So, do yourself a favor. It's a great deal, great discount. You get it for 3 days, and it pretty much pays for itself today. So have a great day, everyone. One more time on the way out. Nationals plus 1.5, minus 115. Phillies minus 150. And then a first 5, Red Sox first 5 money line, minus 165. Have a great 4th of July weekend, everyone. We'll see you guys Monday morning.